Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, September 11th, and this is another edition of Angry Taxpayer. I'm your host, Donna Smirniotopoulos. I was not going to broadcast today because it is September the 11th. It's the 18th anniversary, and I just didn't feel that it was appropriate. However, something came up today, is something that's been percolating for a few days. Ever since 9/11, we have developed a heightened awareness about threats and investigating credible threats in an effort to protect ourselves. And lately, sometimes reporting threats has become a way to weaponize social media. At least this is my opinion based on what I've observed, and today based on my own rather unfortunate experience. On Saturday or Sunday, some point over the weekend, I received a phone call from a police sergeant in the state of Connecticut. And he left an opaque message, said it was in reference to something on Facebook. And I had been involved in a conversation on Facebook, and I reported some comments that I felt were not compliant with the page rules, and thought I had reported them to the page administrators. And so my thought process was, oh gee, somehow a comment intended for a page administrator went to the state police by mistake. So I didn't really think anything of it. I was prepared to just say, look, I didn't make a complaint. It's just as page administrators are supposed to watchdog certain things. I finally was able to take his call today, and he said that the complaint was not from me, it was about me, it was directed at me. And it came from Senate Majority Leader Bob Duff's page. He posted a few days ago about the ban on waterfowl hunting at Calf Pasture Beach and Shady Beach and a few other places, Vets Park, I believe. And I'm not a fan of Senator Duff's. I don't think it's any secret that I'm not a fan of Senator Duff's. What I find curious about his behavior is when I post on his page, I ask a serious question, which merits a serious answer. He never replies. Never, ever. He will reply to some people, but he assiduously avoids me on that page. So when I saw the comments going up, and most of them were negative, most of them were from hunters and people who said, look, there's never been a problem. I'm neutral on this issue. There's a part of me that says, that hunting traditions are good. And there's a part of me that says maybe we shouldn't be shooting firearms in a public beach area, or maybe only certain dedicated discrete hours, like 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning in January or something like that. So I'm not totally anti-hunting, but I do think it's okay to impose reasonable restrictions. I posted a joke. I put up a meme of Daffy Duck. Someone else had made a reference to Daffy Duck at that point. So I found a meme of Daffy Duck, and the meme went up before my narrative went up. So when I posted the narrative, they weren't together. And this was a joke. I'm just going to preface this. This was a joke, and people laughed at it. And the narrative said, Wabbit season, duck season, Wabbit season, Duff season. That was it. That was it. And somebody complained to the state police, and they said that this was a threat or a possible threat against Senator Duff. Full disclosure, and I'm reluctant to say this on social media because this is a public platform, I don't own a weapon. I feel that just making that announcement makes me vulnerable. So, people now know I don't have a weapon. I don't keep a weapon in the house. I never have. I cannot imagine that the person who reported this doesn't know me and doesn't know I'm a critic of Senator Duff. This feels retaliatory. I told this to the police officer. A few weeks ago, First Taxing District Commissioner Pam Parkington went off on someone on Twitter. And not only was she vulgar, but she was angry and aggressive And as far as I know, no one reported her, and she's still Facebook friends with the mayor. And he blocked me for using a vulgarity very popular with Dave Chappelle. So Chappelle and I share this vulgarity in common. Chappelle gets paid for it, and I get blocked on Facebook for it. But I was so upset by this. I felt compelled to broadcast today, in spite of the fact that it's 9/11, or maybe because it's 9/11. I think we need to reflect on how we use social media, absolutely, but we also need to reflect on our freedoms. And people died for our freedoms. People have died historically for our freedoms. And freedom of speech is number one in the Bill of Rights. And we are seeing our freedom of speech being eroded. And some of this is happening because people are just plain hysterical. And some of it is happening because people are finding a very convenient way to retaliate. And I have been a victim of, I hate to ever think of myself as a victim because I just don't have that mentality, but people have tried to silence me through these means: intimidation, bullying, and something retaliatory like this. And I feel it's important on today of all days that we appreciate the freedoms that we have and that we remain strong in spite of things coming at us from out of nowhere, like this call from this police investigation into something that somebody claimed was a threat or a possible threat. I think we need to be vigilant, but we also need to be courageous and brave, and come out there and share our opinions. And no, it's not okay to make threats, but it isn't okay to report something that's clearly a joke either. So I wish you all a lovely evening, and we certainly should take time on this day to remember the people who lost their lives on 9/11, but also think about all the things that have changed in our world since 9/11, and consider whether or not all of those changes have been positives for us. Good night, and I will see you again soon. Please hit like if you like this video, and subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it if you would like to contact me. The email address is savenorwalknow@gmail.com. Thank you and good night.